Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset Episode 55. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you love playing Destiny as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, Iron Banner returns, we get a weekly Dirt Fam Discord rundown, and Bungie gives us a tour of the Siva-infested Wintry Cosmodrome. Guardians, hello and welcome. Of course, this is Arrow Knight, and of course, Cyborg Sasquatch. What's up, dude?
Of course.
It's
me.
Let's see how many times we can say that.
Cyborg Cat Squash.
Oh, yes, I saw that. I was on vacation, and I came back, and your name was missing a C, and I was, basically, my brain was exploding trying to tag you in Discord.
That was exactly what I wanted to happen.
Okay, cool. But it's funny because it would still come up, but I'm like, what is going on right now?
What?
Exactly.
How was your vacay, brother?
It was great, man. Great. 2 in 1 month.
I know you got to be almost tired of vacation, right?
Man, again, it's time. Let's do a 5-hour show tonight, dude. I'm so refreshed. Not gonna happen, right? No, man.
No.
It was a good time. It was relaxing. Again, family time, but probably not another week's vacation for a little while for me, but maybe some days off here and there.
I hear you.
How was your week, dude? Was it good? Work week for you?
Yeah, regular work week. Some Destiny at night. Doing what I usually do.
The huge.
Another day, another dollar, another Guardian destroyed in the Crucible. How about we get this show on the road?
I don't know. We could just keep talking about our week.
Okay. How was Monday?
Today, man, back from vacay, it was, catching up.
Coming back from vacation the day after you get in is like the worst day.
Mm-hmm. The Friday or whatever day before you start it.
Yeah.
And the day when you get back, because everybody that had a question for you comes to see you. Everything that you needed to do while you were on vacation is still sitting there.
And the night before you go to work, you're like sitting there thinking about, oh God, tomorrow is just going to be a shit show.
Yep. That's funny. Well,
so you had to go through that.
Before we get in to the old geography lesson, you of course, you got to tell us how your Monday was today, man. Was it your usual crazy, not in the office much?
Yeah, Mondays are actually not usually that crazy for me.
Later in the week.
Yeah, I don't stack them up real heavy with meetings and appointments because you just never know what's gonna need to be done. And so thankfully, I had 1-2 meetings today. Nothing crazy. Making sure everybody's moving along, doing their job.
You never know.
Wasn't too bad.
What modifiers we're gonna have on Monday?
Yeah, it could have been epic. It could have been match game, but luckily I didn't have to deal with match game today. Chaff is usually what happens on Monday. No radar. You don't know what's coming your way.
That's a good one, man. Right? I mean, that's a good example of one that we don't really want.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's get this show on the road.
Let's do it.
We've got some announcements this week, but first off, a very special geography lesson. And we've got somebody taking over for me this week. Let's take a listen.
Well, it's time for my geography lesson of the week. This is the part of the show in which I feature a listener from around the world. This week, we've received an email from Lord Saladin, who hails from Twilight Gap. He goes on to say, "Hey, Arrow, hey, Cyborg, I'm from Twilight Gap. This is a place of great war, many, many battles here, daily, hourly, every few minutes, in fact. But it is also a place in which once a month there is a great celebration known as the Iron Banana. And he says it's great fun to turn up in a place called the Tower and see all the Guardians. And he just wishes everybody good luck. And also to the Dirt Fam in particular, you guys are the best." That's as good an impression as I could do for you, Cyborg. Oh, God. Vincent Smalls signing out.
Well, Vincent, I think that your impression of me was about as terrible as my impression of you.
I listened to that as soon as it came in, and I was like, "This is great."
However,
like he's trying. The accent was gone almost.
Yeah, however, he did a really great job at the geography lesson. I know who to call if I ever have to take a week off.
Can I? I'm not gonna lie, dude. After he sent that in, I practiced a real short impression of you. Do you mind if I do that real quick?
Please be my guest.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
This is like so spot on. You guys are gonna it's unreal. Are you ready?
All right, let's go.
Well, hello there, Guardians. This is Cyborgio Sasquatch coming to you from southern USA, where it is hotter than a stove poker.
A stove poker?
Scene. That sounded just like you, didn't it?
I'm not from Virginia. What the hell is a stove poker?
I know, man. I heard his, and
There's
I gotta
difference
give
between
this a
a
shot.
redneck and a hillbilly, and it is a big difference.
I am having total fun with it. You do not sound anything like that.
Well, I don't care if you make fun of me and you sound like a redneck, but you made me sound like a hillbilly. That's where I take offense.
I know. A stove poker, man. That's an old one.
I don't even think I've ever heard that before.
Like a stove pit, like fire, and you take the stove poker and you poke it in there,
I got you.
You got me? You with me? Hotter than a stove poker, right?
Mm-hmm,
I break it down enough.
No, that was a good one, though. I might use that.
Use that one, man.
All right, Guardians. Well, on an average week when we're doing the geography lesson of the week, if you'd like to be featured here, please send us an email or a tweet and tell us where you're from, what's so special about that place, and your favorite class in Destiny. You can be featured here, and if you'd even like to take a hand at your Cyborg Sasquatch impersonation, I will entertain that as well.
Vincent, the reason I did that is because yours honestly was amazing. You hid that accent.
Indeed.
Mine was terrible.
That's
so I just
right.
had to dress it up.
We've got some other great speak pipes coming up here, too.
Oh, my goodness, man. This one.
By request.
Oh, my goodness.
Our friend Jay Howard, 414, not 414, 414, has presented a very special This Week in Discord. You ready for this?
I'm ready. I've
right.
listened to it twice, and I'm still amazed.
All right. Prepare your ears for This Week in Discord. Go.
Hey guys, Jay Howard 414 here, and here was your week in Discord. On Monday, Palix brought the meat. Pokemon are running wild. Bruh, just won't go away. Co-founder got to the lighthouse. It's hot outside. Terry is hip with whippersnappers. Arrow is on vacation again, and Astros are way too expensive not to be working. On Tuesday, we got Iron Banner. Holden Court works way too much. Yay for Mega Blocks. We're all rappers now. Hancho was in the bathroom. I need controller pedals. Derp has a secret lair, and it serves pizza. Asian crime syndicates are confusing. Holden and I have feuding families. A language lesson happened. Squirrels taste great. I got tough love on stream, and then I woke up. On Wednesday, more Iron Banner. Holden hates my Way Lawrence March. It's still hot. It was stream day. Bruh is still not going away. There was a Gallerwing, and my little girl gave Derpfam the finger in a picture. On Thursday, streamers have gambling problems. There was more Destiny talk, new armor hype. The video came out with something that I still don't understand. Pokemon got banned at work. Terry dropped some gun knowledge. 9 out of 10 Guardians agree that Dark HK is the man. Cartoons showed up everywhere. Iron Banner broke and forgot to hand out rewards. What are Stranger Things? No one can spell anymore. Cyborg Catsquatch was born. There was Midwest meetup hype, and a class war started back up. On Friday, Holden still works too much. Vincent Small had some arm hype. Scroob is a new word everyone should know. Joe Meaton still hates 3 of coins. There was more Destiny talk. Canadians spell a boot like they say a boot. Catsquatch is a chinchilla breeder. I still can't find the podcast everyone's talking about, but there was a jock and a nerd. Cyborg's Gridmore is unbelievable, and someone stole Cyborg's PSN name. That was your week.
Wow. Like I said, I listened to that a few times. That was a busy week, but actually that is pretty much the Dirt Fam Discord as of late.
Yeah,
we said last week it's on fire.
The part about being a chinchilla breeder, somebody needs to explain that to me.
Right. I like how I just got the arrows on another vacation. And then you got, man, everybody was in there. It's like, it makes you realize how much crazy stuff happens in the general Discord of the Derp fam. But you know,
guys, it's so crazy.
he said his notes were absurd and his multiple attempts to record that. We probably don't want to know.
I am going to give him some super duper props for doing that in 90 seconds or less.
Good grief, man. And
Great
the
job.
next thing we need is him and Davis are trying to figure out how they're going to send one in together. I really think, man, we need back when we did on the Christmas episode, just alternate each line.
There you
See
go.
if you can do that in 90 seconds.
That was hard.
It was.
That was like the hardest skit we did for the
It was.
Christmas episode.
Christmas will be here before we know it.
I know, it's
A
coming.
holiday special.
Yep. All right. What else we got?
We've got a speak pipe. Another speak pipe, man. It's not even the feels. This
know.
is from our good buddy X-Ray from the old Destiny Ghost Stories podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he's got what seems like an interesting message that he started getting from a NPC. So let's take a listen real quick.
Arrow Knight, Cyborg Sasquatch. Hey, it's X-Ray from Ghost Stories. First, I just want to say thanks for having me on back when we were talking about some of the new content that was dropping with Challenge of Elders. That was great. But I was in the tower, passed by this NPC, and he said something to the effect of, "Guardian, come here." And so I went back over and stood there for a second, and he spouted off some numbers. And I've been trying to look into him, and he goes 101516. And so I've been looking into it, and I couldn't find much. So I went and I hung out with this guy for a while, and he kept mentioning something about DRP, and you guys are the only ones I could think of. So I didn't really know what was going on with that. I was hoping that you could explain what this whole 101516 DRP thing is, because whatever it is, I got to find out about it now, and I need to be there. I need to figure out what it is, and I can't wait to find out. So I hope you guys know what I'm talking about, and I hope you can tell me what in the hell's going on. So anyway, thanks again. Great show. Love you guys. Chat soon.
Well, very interesting situation you had there in the tower, X-Ray. First off, thanks for sending in a speak pipe. Wonderful to hear from you, buddy. We'll have to have you on again soon.
Yes, sir.
Second of all, Aaron, what do you think these numbers mean? 101516.
Man, it's, I've really been thinking hard about this, and once you write it down, if you're in the Derp fam,
have you put this in the Derp fam supercomputer yet?
That was, of course, after bashing my head against the wall about 15 times. I was going to actually act like I figured it out, but now you've mentioned the Derp fam supercomputer, so I can't do that. So you entered
sorry,
it in,
I didn't mean
right?
to give it away.
You entered it in, right?
Yep. Hold on. Let me tally up. Let me see. Okay.
And
the result is Scorio's Midwest Meetup.
oh,
October
the Derp
15th,
fam
2016.
reunion.
Derp fam reunion. Midwest. All those words.
So
Whatever
is
it's called.
X-Ray dropping a bomb there? That
Might have a little visitor.
ooh,
Interesting.
very interesting.
The Midwest reunion, guys, is October 15th, 2016. If you live in the Midwest, or hell, if you live in the East or West Coast and want to make it out there, you should message our friend Scorio.
Yes.
Get more deets. He's got a pretty cool house he just renovated.
Mm-hmm.
He's been showing us some pictures. He's going to be having some people that can stay there, and when he fills up, you can still come. It's going to be lots of fun. Go check
Friday,
it out.
Saturday, and Sunday if you're feeling it.
That's right.
And it's Scorio70.
There you go.
SCOREO 70. I think everywhere if you guys want to ask him any
That's
questions
right.
about it.
Twitter, Discord,
Bring
Xbox,
your-
PlayStation.
Derp Fam t-shirts. They're derptastic.
Holla. Yep. Also, while we're on that topic, thanks guys for everyone who bought a t-shirt. It looks like a lot of you guys have been getting them in that bought them on the second campaign, and send us some pictures. Awesome pictures, guys. It's so cool to see everyone's smiling face
Yes.
that we haven't met, you know?
Like we said, all the face reveals
Yep.
are overloading.
So I'm going to give everybody one more week. If you've got a Dirt Fam t-shirt, send us a pic wearing those styling threads that you bought, because we're going to put together something pretty cool with those pictures. So please send them to us via Twitter, Discord, email, whatever you prefer.
We can't wait to see more.
Indeed.
Got another announcement here from our Dirt Fam buddy Vanquished. You guys have probably ran past, or played with, who knows, a raid, a crucible match, something with Vanquished at this point. He has started, with the help of some of the ambassadors and the admin team, Throwback Thursday Raid Day.
That's right.
It's going to be returning August 4th. I think they've done it once already, and it was a day at that point. But now they've decided, and he's decided to make this event a week-long event. It's where you will go run Crota's End and Vault of Glass if you want to jump back in those old raids or need anything from them or achievements, any of that good stuff. Basically, it's going to be the first Thursday of the month to the second Thursday of each month. So one full week, so you guys can kind of coordinate and try to fit in a run with some of the Dirt Fam. And he said he got a lot of messages that people were interested in running these raids for the first time, and people love the idea of running the old raids again. So this is your opportunity. He says he appreciates the support from everyone, including the admins. He looks forward to running the old raids, and feel free to message him. His Twitter handle is Vanquished1, VANQUISHDONE, and it's Vanquished on Discord. Also, tweet at Destiny Reset or Vanquished with hashtag DirtFam with your fire team when you guys do this stuff.
Absolutely.
It's a good thing,
Yeah,
man.
go
I've
run
got to
those
run
raids, guys.
Vault of Glass again. You
Dude,
said you just did it like
so
a month
much
ago.
fun. Yeah, I did it with like Joe and Darth and some of the other Dirt Fam, and we helped get who was it? I think Michael Moore, if I remember correctly.
Michael Moore.
Yeah, that's his name.
I think that's a documentary famous type
I
name,
know.
right?
Yeah. Not that Michael Moore.
Oh, okay.
We helped. Well, we all wanted to do it. We also helped him get through some of his first raids. So we did the Vault of Glass, and then we proceeded through to Crota's End.
Very cool.
We had a good time. We got them all done in like 2 hours. I mean, it's not like a huge affair if you're leveled.
Yeah,
So-
I'm thinking about, they were actually chatting and tagged me in Discord today. Apparently, maybe a Crota's End Flawless Trophy is possibly in
There
the
you go.
works. So I'll probably be jumping back in Crota's End. I've got to get that trophy, man.
Dude, it's gonna be so easy for you. I promise.
At this point,
I did it
running
in
through
2
Crota.
nights. Like, I think maybe 4, 5 like instances, like tries. We had it, and we
That
did
works.
it with a group of 4.
I just need to block out a Trials night and make it Flawless Trophy night
Yeah, you can
on
do
Friday.
It. You can do it.
Well, cool, man. Of course, it seems like lately just plenty of announcements and news going on in the Dirt Fam. It's always
Tons
a
of
good
stuff going on, man.
thing. Always a good thing.
Join the Dirt Fam if you haven't, because we will keep you busy.
I feel like we're getting more emails now, man. I love it. People are taking that extra step, sending us an email or a tweet, and they're saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
been listening for a while. The Dirt Fam sounds awesome. How do I join?" And we're like, "It is awesome."
It truly
Welcome
is,
to the fam.
and we've had a ton of people joining who are just saying, "Hey, look, I'm finally taking the plunge." And I see people every day jumping in the Discord and saying what's up, and getting linked up with people to play with.
Yep.
There is absolutely a huge community of friendly people that are happy to make friends and play with you. So I would just encourage you to jump in and join
My
the Dirt
favorite
Fam.
thing still is when somebody does take that plunge finally, and they get like 4 and 5 welcomes. I've said it 100 times already, but it's like their initial step into Discord, and they get those welcomes, and they're just like, "Wow, it does
right.
happen. It really happens."
It's true. It's all true.
It's all true. Cyborg,
Man, what?
How was your reset?
It was wonderful.
It was wonderful with Iron Banner.
Yep. Well, I don't know
Maybe.
about that part. Actually, my reset was terrible. No, I'm not going to have a bad attitude, but I had a rough week in Destiny. Some weird stuff going on in Iron Banner. Some real tough trials nights. But you know what? I had fun while I was doing it. I didn't let my attitude turn poor, and still enjoyed my week, even though it was challenging.
I had kind of the same experience. But mine was on both extremes, excellent and then kind of crappy nights. So, did we do any of the weekly stuff, Nightfall, or was it all PvP for us this week? Did you do any of the?
I did pretty much exclusively Crucible activities, and it's funny. I wanted to bring that up, man. Like PoE went by the wayside real quick, huh? Just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's really doing it.
Dude, you lasted a while, and I just
I got like a month.
If Trials wasn't in the game, man, I probably would. I would be playing some Challenge of Elders or something. But man, we just really need that legitimate Gears of War horde mode wave based PvE. Like we really need that. We've got to get. I gotta get.
And I didn't stop playing it because I wasn't having fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun doing it, and I would go play it right now if it was like the rewarding thing to put my time into.
That's true, man. Like we said, it all falls back on rewards.
Yeah, I think rewards have a lot to do with it. And initially getting into it, I wanted some of the updated weapons, I wanted to get the exotics to drop, which I think I still need Lord of Wolves. I wanted to get some 335 gear, the Sterling Treasures, all that stuff. Now I kind of got like a sampling of many of the weapons, and I'm 335 on a lot of my gear, and so I don't have a huge incentive to get in there. There's this weird effect with drop rates where if there's just not something that's super, super desirable, and it's, I don't know, man, it's like a double-edged sword. On one hand, like everybody loves it because it's easy to progress. On the other hand, you lose incentive really quick to run the activity. It's right. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, it's actually funny because for me, I was just thinking about that same thing, but with Iron Banner this week. Iron Banner, it gets a lot of people. I mean, we get excited about it because it just adds that layer to the Crucible, like Trials does. But I already had an awesome roll in Nerwins, and I just don't really need any of the gear that's offered, So it's like, again, it's the reward thing. So I don't know. It's like you said, it's the classic. Which way do they go with it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. And even, I guess Trials is always the exception for me because I really don't need anything from Trials. But it's just such a fun game mode. So maybe that's proof, I guess, if a game mode's really just nailed down and fun, that we don't care about the rewards. But I don't know. Destiny is so based on the rewards in the game.
Yeah. It's such a fine line that they have to walk, Mm-hmm. I think that still they're going to have to work to find the balance.
Right.
Because on one hand, you want people to feel constantly rewarded across activities. But on the other hand, you want there to still be something left that's desirable.
Yeah, I really feel like they hit on it with the rank buffs and the packages, because no matter what you're doing, you're getting something before you log off usually.
Yeah, that's great, especially giving you more opportunities to get the faction items that you want, or the faction armor, faction weapons.
Right.
But even that is kind of
dwindling.
Yeah, I mean, you can rank up so many times. I can't even tell you how many dadgum helmets I've gotten from Shaxx. I mean, I'm talking about over 15 at this point. And it's
Give us
stop
weapons.
giving me the same crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get any weapons out of it. And it's I've pretty much given up trying to get any of the stuff I wanted from them because it just won't drop.
Yeah, it is. It does feel like they almost should be two separate things. Or it's like, man, you're ranking up Crucible. I want the weapons.
Seriously.
That's what I'm trying to get.
I don't need any more armor. I'm constantly getting armor. It drops more than anything else. And it's all just junk.
I have to mention too, man, I was thinking about this week and wondering where I could fit it in the show, but I will say on the flip side, this reset, man, I don't know what the deal was, but I threw in, I just felt like throwing in Star Wars Battlefront, and I reinstalled it, and that game is so fun, man. It's even as like I like Star Wars, I'm not like, huge into it, but I'm, I like it. It's fun. And I like even having fun with that game, and I know I'm sitting there like, what could I be doing on Destiny right now? So what is that, man? Like, it's so great to have a game like Destiny. And it's one of those things we won't realize it until they're not making it anymore sometimes, but at the same time we play it so much. We're just like, hey man, like, could we get this or could we do this? But really, if it wasn't there, like what would we be playing right now? Nothing keeps my attention, or I don't know. It's just such a unique game,
It's just a great combination between a shooter and an investment game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's such a weird, tough thing to pull off.
Well, and I feel like it you just feel so invested into it because everything is just all encompassing together on both sides of the game. And when you jump into other games, like when I jump into Star Wars, it's fun and that's what a game should be. But it's basically that match for me. I'm not really thinking about unlocking things, even though there's a leveling system. But I don't know, Destiny's just got its hooks in us, man.
even though there's so many ways that they could give us, so many other opportunities they could give us to show off what we've achieved, there's no other game where I can sit back and think about all the things that I've achieved in the game and all the things I have to show it off and get some kind of sense of satisfaction.
Right.
Like there's no other game that's just a virtual, life that makes me feel as satisfied with what I've done in the game.
Right. No, that's spot on.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can sit back and you can be like, man, I've been to the lighthouse X times. My KD is this. I have this ship. I have this gear. I love this gun.
Mm-hmm.
All these things that are like, they're not tangible, but, virtually tangible evidence
Yep.
of the time investment that you put in. Another game makes me feel that way. I can go and play like a single player game. Say take, for instance, like Skyrim or Fallout or something. And I can say, well, yeah, I've done this, that, and this, but then it ends at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either you finish the campaign or you do all the side quests or you've just gotten bored, but you realize your experience is no different than anybody else's. You do eventually you do all the same things that somebody does.
Right. Yep.
And you can't replicate that in that type of game, but Destiny is unique in that your experiences are so social that they become very, very unique.
And that's what we were talking about last week, and we're always, chatting about PvP as well, because once you dabble into that side of it, it just opens up this whole other world of content. And that's what I do when I do pop in another game, man. I'm like, but wait, I'm really trying to continue to get better at Destiny. Yeah. I should probably just put that in.
I know. There's times at which I'm like, I could play this, but you know what? I need to get these doubles wins this week.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go practice threes. Like I'm like, it's almost like a discipline. Like, no, go do this.
Right?
You want to get, like I'm telling myself, you want to get better. Go play some matches, and then I get in, I have fun.
Mm-hmm. I will say, if anybody, I didn't do much of it, but I realized I had 200 gigabytes of saved video of Destiny on my PlayStation. Which I don't know how I'm going to filter through that. I know Terry's been doing that lately, but I went and watched like a clip of an old video on, I can't remember the map. Maybe Blind Watch. Dude, I don't know if I didn't know the map. I mean, we talked about getting to know your maps last week. I just ran to the opening in the center and got shotgunned in the face before I even realized what happened. I'd turn around and try to melee somebody with full shield and health before I even fire my weapon. And I'm like, wow, man, you really do, without even realizing it, you really do just get better, naturally, before you even have to start thinking about specific things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it's a good game, man. We went off on a crazy tangent there.
I know.
That's good though. You guys tell us, what is it about Destiny that's different than other games?
Yep. It is the game that you play like a job.
Yes, but enjoy it most of the time. Unless, which we can talk about right now, some of our experiences in Iron Banner this week, man.
Kind of back and forth. It's I don't like to wear out this topic, but the matchmaking is so hard for me to pin down what's going on.
It is a mystery.
Yeah. Played one night with some guys who, I feel like, some were better, some were on the same level as me. I don't think I was playing with anybody that was like, a 1% player, but, we get in, we're just sweating every match,
Mm-hmm.
And then I play with some other guys another night who I feel like, a lot of them are close to my level or at my level or even above in some points. And we're just crushing people. I just can't figure out what the matchmaking is doing from night to night. And I feel like part of it, there's a population problem, right? But in Iron Banner, that's kind of solved a little bit because more people are playing. I don't know, man. It's just not consistent for me.
Yeah, I played Iron Banner throughout the week a couple times and then played again. Actually, I think that's throughout the week is when I had a pretty good experience. And then played Trials Friday night and had some great passages. Didn't make it to the Lighthouse, but had some really good few passages.
Yeah,
and then
I was watching.
We played Saturday night, and I don't know, man. We could not do anything. We had a super sweaty first game against 3 really good snipers. I mean, flat out. Mm-hmm. That was our first game in the passage. And then either the second game after losing our Mercy or the first game in the next passage, we get with 2 red bars and a yellow bar. And we were just like, okay, Saturday night, it's just it's apparently not the night for Trials. That's all good. Let's go play Iron Banner. So we jump in Iron Banner, and our first game we almost get mercied.
Oh wow!
And it was 3 of us. It wasn't a full fire team, but it was just and I was talking to you about this before the show. I got 32 kills. We had 4 or 5 people on our team part of the game, but I got 32 kills, man. And Slarty was up there too, and we almost got mercied. I was just like, okay, I guess this is just one of those nights. We just either got to make ourselves have a good time with this right now, or let's just log off or go to the tower and hang out. That's when we need that mini game in the tower, dude.
I know.
Need that card game.
That card game. Come back to the tower and chill.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a break.
It would be so great, man. That would honestly, just that Saturday, last Saturday, and just be like, you know what? Let's just go play some Magic Destiny card games in the tower.
There you go.
Wind down.
Awesome.
Get some
man. So yeah, I did some trials too. I played with Roving and Darth Digits this weekend. And we had some decent cards, We didn't make it to the Lighthouse, but then we played again last night, being Sunday night. Oh my gosh, man, we couldn't get far at all. We just keep hitting these teams that were just
Well, across the board too now, I mean, even the streamers I think are talking about, and of course, a lot of just the Guardians in the community, it's a lot harder right now to get to the Lighthouse than I think it ever has been. Even on a good passage, it's kind of sometimes really a crapshoot if you're going to get good connection, to games and stuff.
Yeah.
Depending on where people are located and this or that. But if it does happen, and it does pretty frequently, it is sweaty, man. And it's, it's still based on the trials ticket, right? They never changed that. It's based on your win losses on your ticket or your passage, right?
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
As far as we know.
I don't know. Like you said, it could be a population thing, but it really is tough to get to the lighthouse right now.
Yeah. And we were talking about matchmaking. There was an interesting exchange on Twitter with Mr. Derek Carroll and a user. And a question was posed to him: does matchmaking try to match average skill of fire team? If so, would it make more sense to match each individual skill if skill gap is high? And he answered, no, we match on the max. Matching against all individuals might work, but it would take a long time and likely stall out. And then...
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's interesting, right? That kind of turns some things in our head and confirms some assumptions that we might have about that. Then Cosmo replies to it: when matchmaking with fire teams, the average skill of the fire team is taken into account. The original tweets were in error, and we wanted to quickly correct this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just wonder. I mean, if anybody should know. And actually, we got to give a shout out because I think Maddie tweeted us that.
Yeah, he did.
And your response, I think, was like, that's interesting. And mine was the same. I'm like, they've got to know a lot of things about this game. So I could see where it would be tough. But I would think this thing, they wouldn't get their statements confused, you know?
Well,
this particular thing.
I think at this point they've tried so many different, like
That's
variations.
True. They have tried a lot of different things.
I could see where he's thinking about either an iteration of it or maybe what it could have been for a long time, or maybe even what it is and it's changing. It just
and then they got to be careful not to say what they're
here's the thing. I'm not going to call anybody a liar. I'm not going to be one of those people who are like, Bungie is lying to us, or they deceive us, or blah blah blah. Like I don't think that's what's going on, because I know what happens in a big business with a lot of moving working parts. But there's got to be some truth to what he said. I mean, it's not like he pulled that out of thin air.
Right. Still though, man, matching on the max.
That's
tough for everyone else that's
dude.
Not the max.
Exactly. I mean, think about just sixes, and you get one player in there that has, a few hundred points higher elo, and then you're matching against a team that is similar, matched to that player. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna like one out of 6 is not going to turn the tide on an entire game in sixes.
That goes with what we've heard in the FAM as well. People say they'll jump from fire team to fire team, run an Iron Banner with the FAM, and they'll notice a difference in the competitiveness of the games they're in versus who their fire team is. So that just makes you wonder, like, if you get a high ranking, high elo DTR player on your team, it's just a totally different experience. But you said,
what it leads me to believe is that's not completely the case, is when I'll get in games with the FAM, and let's just assume, and I'm not trying to say this is true, but let's assume I have the highest elo in a group. Mm-hmm. Why would we go into a game and we're just stomping people then?
True. Mm-hmm.
Is it that there's one person on their team that also has the highest elo, and so we're matched up, but the rest of the team is not? It's hard to know precisely what's happening there.
They got so many lines of code in there now, they're not sure what's even going on. It just match makes. I'm just kidding. Like you said, though,
it's RNG based.
Cosmo did come back and say, like you said, it's an average skill of the fire team is taken into account. But I think Tattoo and some of the guys were talking in Discord this week, like, why not, if you've messed with all these different iterations of matchmaking and we've tested it for you, why not just make it flat out connection based, and let's just see what happens and see if people have a problem with if we see a lot of just teams getting stomped or not. And if, I mean, we know, like I think Tattoo said, the community will let you know if they don't like it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That's a topic for every episode if we wanted it to be.
Yep. We could go on. And
I gotta give
podcasts do.
I got to give a shout out, man. I mentioned my Iron Banner and Trials, but Trials this weekend, man, it was Terry and Slarty and I again.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got a nice little fire team party crash from Swain. Jumped in and ran some Trials with us. So that was a lot of fun.
Some good times. Shout out to him.
Good time.
Yep. I guess I'll go ahead and give some shout outs. After we recorded last week, we jumped in and I pulled together my raid team, or all but one of them, and our friend Hidden, and we went and helped my new friend Goose go get the War Priest hard mode checkpoint completed, nice. So he could get that fragment. So got to give a shout out to them. Got to give a shout out to Goose and his friends, and then also played some Iron Banny with Iron Banny.
Hey, man,
played some Iron Banny.
So easy to do.
Yeah, with the fam. So I gotta give a shout out to Fugly, Archimedes, Flavorous, Andy Man, the Matu, Spardav 2, and Roving, of course, too.
I gotta give a podcast Fugly hug.
Yeah, Fuggle hug. Fuggle hug. I want to talk about one other thing real quick too, and I know we got to get out of this section, but I keep seeing on Twitter. I keep seeing people, players, as well as streamers, tweeting about and related to, I guess, celebratory actions and attitudes,
right?
Both related to teabagging and emote use, and it's kind of like a hot discussion that's been going on over the past couple of weeks. It's interesting. And I don't know why it's coming up so often right now, but, a lot of people just tweeting, just show some class, or, basically saying, there are different varying opinions. So, this kind of interests me. And I think that some people take it to one extreme. Some people take it to the other. So I wanted to know what, some people thought about this. So I put up a Twitter poll earlier today, and I wanted to know, is an emote use after a successful round or match? Number one, a victory dance, and it's cool. Or number two, insulting and being a poor sport. So before I relay the results to that, Aaronite, I'm interested to know what you feel about this.
It's actually funny. I just remembered, I think the last time we talked about teabagging, like fully on the show, was when X-Ray was on. We went off on a tangent about teabagging.
We were talking about taint brushing.
So for me, man, I'm pretty sure I've already said this a couple times, but emotes are emotes. They're in the game. Sometimes like a no or some of them will, like we've said, they don't really make me frustrated, but I'm just like, really, dude? But all in all, emotes are emotes. That's what they're in the game for. Mm-hmm. Victory dance, when it comes down to it, I'm cool with that. Teabagging is a different story. Like, I don't know. I mean, I do know what it is about teabagging, because there's just nothing about that motion that is just like, hey man, we just had a really good duel, right? So I'm gonna teabag you.
There's nothing remotely respectful about that, right?
Right. And it's people. I've heard people say that that's what you did in Halo. Like, that's just what you did. It was a good match, And some people may think that, but for me, like, and this, I think we've mentioned this before. If you teabag us in Trials, it like takes us to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, because it really does work sometimes. But I don't know, man. Teabagging is just like, that's where I think the class comes in. Like, come on, just give me like a cool emote. That's what you bought it for.
Right. Well, so here's my reflection on that is, since we have emotes,
mm-hmm.
that's why I have a problem with teabagging.
Right.
So if you go back to Halo and other games in the past, you didn't have the opportunity to
That's a good
do
point.
anything else to express your victory or your loss, or you're picking on somebody or whatever it was. So that's what you did. Well, there's a clear solution to that now.
Right.
So when you do that to my teammate or to me, what that says to me is you're intentionally being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, though. My opinion is like, this is a game.
Ultimately,
like when I
it's a
say
game.
something like disrespectful, like this isn't real life. I don't have any pride here. Like, you're not hurting my freaking feelings. But there is something to be said for good sportsmanship, I think, because this is a game.
Destiny's different,
that we
man.
compete,
Like,
you know,
Destiny's different than other games. Like, there is really a good vibe throughout a lot of the community. So I think that's why it comes up so much more in this game.
Yeah, I think so too. So my take personally on emotes is they're there in the game for a reason. I think it's really fun to use, and for me, using them is just being honest in the game with what I'm actually feeling and thinking, because I promise you, no matter who it is, when they finish a game and they won, they're celebrating. They're like, yeah, good game, or we beat them. I killed that guy. Like, I stopped that kid, whatever. You're saying it in your chat.
Right.
If you can't express that in the game, you're just not being honest with yourself. You just lost, and somebody is doing a wave or doing whatever it is. You're not being honest with what's really happening on the other end of the equation here.
Right.
Because whether you can hear it or not, they're celebrating that they just beat you.
Mm-hmm.
So my opinion is, like, grow up. Like, this is what happens when you compete. So I you know what? I'll be the first to admit sometimes it rubs me the wrong way when somebody celebrates after they beat me. But you know, in the end, like, that's what real life is like.
Yep.
Like, if you ever played high school or college sports, when the other team wins, they celebrate. They won.
Yeah, you know, and I actually, I don't ever get super aggravated with emotes, but sometimes, like, when they have, it's almost funny at times, but when they have just that right one for when you try to do something and they're like, nope.
I know.
It's I do need to work on a little bit, just being like, you know what, here's a clap, man, because that was solid play, and that was a solid emote.
Yeah. And part of it, there's a lot of talk about attitudes in the Crucible, and I was listening, I think, to Crucible Radio a couple weeks ago, and one of their guests was talking about what your attitude should be when you go in to play, and it had a lot to do with what your confidence is. And they explain if you want to win, you have to have a little bit of swagger. You have to have a little bit of confidence saying, you know what, I'm going to beat anybody that comes my way. You have to have the attitude to a certain degree to have the confidence to do what you need to do and win. Right. And part of what comes with that confidence is, you know, the ability to express it. Mm-hmm. And when I beat somebody, like, and I do something that I think was awesome, I'm going to celebrate. Like, I'm going to hit right on my D-pad or left on my D-pad. It's nothing personal, bro. Like, I don't know you. I'm just excited at what I did.
You know, man, I've almost bought other emotes, but I just cannot get rid of the bow.
But you know what? That's your personality.
I know.
So that's appropriate for you.
Right. Yep.
But it doesn't mean that you're not feeling and thinking like, yeah, I just stuffed your shit.
Well, and like you even mentioned before, you know, like sometimes somebody could even look at the bow like, really, dude? Really?
Exactly.
But, you know, it's one of those emotes that is hopefully the closest to good match. That was a good match.
And that is a great attitude to have. And sometimes I'll break out the bow too. But here's another thing. You can't always have the exact appropriate emote ready
Right.
for every into every match.
We could if we could remap the other.
Yeah, I mean, I want to use my air guitar.
Yes, I was just
Sometimes I
thinking about
would
that one, man.
like to do a bow because we just had a really sweaty match and we won or we lost, and I want to give you a little respect. But sorry, I don't have the time to switch.
That's
I'm
one of
gonna
those
use
little
what
things.
I got.
I can't believe the community can't believe that hasn't been changed yet. Like you could
I know.
quick swap 4 different ones ready to go for the moment.
Yeah.
I will say though, man, if somebody teabags me now, some of our fire team has the you teabag me then I can rule. I have done that on just a very few occasions, but I've actually just, I don't know, in the last few months, I've decided now if somebody teabags me, one, like I said, it kind of takes us to another level. We just want to beat the team. And then I sit down now. I go up to their orb and I just sit down. That's my, like, really, you teabagged me. Like, why?
Yeah.
And, it's like you said, you can't hear the other fire team. They honestly, that may be their celebratory thing. But like you said, they have emotes for that.
Yeah.
I have to mention, too, man, because this is what I do with this game. Back in the SOCOM days, you could run up to somebody that you killed and hit X to dance. But if you hit X really fast, it would make you do the robot because it would alternate between all the different dance options. So we would always just do the robot. I miss those days.
That's awesome. So
anyways, man, that was a good
That's
poll,
just
dude.
my opinion on that. And you know, people are going to feel different ways, and you can disagree with me. That's fair. My advice though is just don't take this so seriously.
Right.
And that's part of competing with people. Like
We should all just challenge ourselves to laugh.
Yeah,
Instead
just
of getting
laugh.
frustrated.
I mean, people will do it, and I'll be like, man, that sucks. But then I think about, like, when I'm on the other end of it, I feel the same way as what they're expressing. They're just like, yeah, we did it. Like, we were better. I did this thing, and it was great, and you sucked. That's just part of competing, man. Sorry, And some of the people that replied had some interesting insight. Jay Sweeps, he mentioned, as long as it's not right on an orb or an
Very
insulting
specific.
emote, I don't get salty about it. That's an interesting relation to it, like proximity to the orb. Like, are you walking right up and standing in front of the orb and doing it? Because that's something I don't do. I'm not trying to, like, pick on somebody in particular when I celebrate,
Right. That's funny.
I don't know.
The cross the map teabag.
Yeah.
That one will get you.
And then I saw somebody calling out Destiny Fun Police for quote unquote his behavior, because he's really about, like, taunting people so that they will come into his bubble. And then when he kills them, he celebrates. I think it's hilarious and fun. Some people interpret it as being immature.
You just don't go into that bubble, though, man.
Yeah.
You just don't even
go
look
in
at the
there.
emotes. Just go the other way. Unless you have a slam,
Yeah.
go the other way.
Yeah. But
Did you say the percentage of your poll results?
no,
Or is it
so the results were 72% said that a victory dance is cool. It's okay by them. 28% said that it was insulting and poor sportsmanship. Our friend Handsome Dragon, he tweeted me. He did a similar poll recently, and his results were very similar.
Okay.
So
Most people are okay with emotes.
that was what they said.
There you go. They're not tweeting out.
Yeah, they're not the ones complaining about it, right?
Right.
The vocal minority. Anyways, moving on.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a good conversation.
Good. How about some news?
News. We have
News.
we have news.
Let's talk.
We got a patch incoming, man.
Yeah, we just got this earlier today. News of this, or of the impendingness of this, coming in July 26th, which I believe is Tuesday, reset day.
When you're
So by
listening.
the time you get this episode, 2.3.1. However, we don't know what's in it yet.
I know, man. I always instantly look for patch notes, and they're like, the patch notes will drop when the update drops. And I'm like, is this... I get excited every time I see patch, but it's probably going to be some more foundation. No, wait. Did we get details? We got a little detail on 2.3.1, didn't we? A week or so ago? Or am I thinking of something
They didn't
else?
tell us anything about this
Nothing?
yet.
Well, see, then that makes me think it's going to be a little foundation work for...
You think so? Because this is a 0.1, so this is...
That's true.
You know how they number them. You know, if it's
Yeah.
minor, it'll be like 2.3.0.1.
0.1. That's true.
So,
Oh, boy.
It could
I get
be bigger.
as excited for patches as I do
yeah.
some of the new content.
But, you know, I've noticed with this one and the last one, you know, typically they tell us ahead of time what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But it really seems like they're so busy with the Rise of Iron stuff coming that they're just dropping it. Like, okay,
They're
the
in the
day of,
motions.
they're like, all right, here's what's going on. You
Remember
know?
the last decent one they kind of just threw on us?
Yeah, and it was during E3, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
So it just kind of popped up, and
Yep.
then they threw us some notes out when it dropped. So I mean, I guess that's what's going to happen tomorrow when they drop the patch. There's some
We
things I
shall see.
really hope they fix. Electrostatic Mine is broken right now. When you blink ionically in Storm Trance, I just had this happen earlier. For some reason, you just won't be able to use the super. So I'm pulling right trigger, and just got killed because I couldn't inflict any damage. Apparently, incendiary perks are not functioning properly right now, both for Sunsingers and what do you call those hammer titans?
Sunbreaker?
There we go, Sunbreakers. So there's like some kind of game breaking ish things that I hope that they fix tomorrow.
Maybe we'll get our remappable directional buttons. Probably not.
That'd be cool. There was a
That's-
glitch in the Xbox store that caused players that did not own the Taken King Collector's Edition to receive items from the Taken King Collector's Edition this week.
Does this give you a headache? Because it kind of gave me a headache.
Yeah.
I was trying to understand it.
Yeah,
guess
I don't
everybody
know
that was
how it
affected
worked or what
understands.
happened, but they caught it. Deej was like, "Nah, that's not cool, man." He
gotta
was
get their
he was
stuff.
trying to, say
not
like,
get it.
that was not okay by us. It was something caused by Microsoft. Nothing on Bungie's end. They apparently fixed it pretty fast, but as of yesterday, a player told me he still has his stuff.
They didn't take it away.
Didn't take it away. I don't personally, I don't care. It's been long
Mhm.
enough. Like, I had my exclusive access to those items, which by the way are not that awesome. I'm not going to get upset about it.
Let them enjoy it. This week at Bungie.
Twab.
Twab.
This week at Bungie, we watched a stream
We did.
that we're
Which
going
we're
to talk
gonna.
about.
Oh man, we're gonna talk about that in the main topic.
Yeah, the Galar Wing.
I know. I've got some things to say about the Galar Wing. I want to see what you
I
think.
can't wait.
Mhm.
This interests me. But they did talk about the end of the stream and also in TWAB. The next time we're going to see more Rise of Iron is going to be at Gamescom.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Live stream at
Yeah.
Gamescom, and then specifically about the Crucible. They said, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
if this is what I think it is.
Oh man, I know, right? I was like, wait, like why would they? They're not in their own setting. But
I'm really reading in between the lines too. At the end of the stream when they talked about, and Deej was like, we're going to show off some Crucible stuff at Gamescom. And then one of the guys looked at the camera and like raised his eyebrow. And I was like,
I'm telling you, man. Honestly, until we were sitting here talking about it this moment, I asked myself, like, why would they do it out of their studio? But yeah, I mean, it makes
Because
complete
they're
sense.
gonna show off
They've got
something
something. They've
cool.
got that new feature, new
They're
features.
going to show off something really.
I'm telling you,
cool.
man, like we mentioned a few episodes ago, Destiny 2 we're having to wait for. there is like very few things they could give us that we know we're not getting new subclasses or new, class, but there are one, maybe two things they could give us that would just psych.
We're not going to
all
say
the
it 'cause we don't
Guardians
want
up.
to jinx it.
We won't. We're not going to say
You
it.
know what we're talking about.
Really, there's not even two things. There's one thing.
Also, at Bungie this week, at Bungie Day, they also have their own internal celebration every year. They come together, they have some meetings. I know that they usually do like a game, like a I don't even know what they call it, some kind of games that they play.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't talk about that as much this week, but one thing that I kind of took stock of is like that day, at the end of the day, Deej was like, "Wow, what a day," or something. He tweeted that. It's like, "I'll tell y'all more about it." And then he kind of talked about that in the TWAB and how they get together and different people present the future of what's going on in their different departments.
Yeah, they get that picture of Parsons. Says he had a legendary sword or a steel sword to knight our
sword
newbies.
looks awesome. Yeah, and
Totally nerding out on a normal work day.
So I guess what makes me excited is that Deej was excited about what he saw there, and it just makes me think about like what they talked about behind the scenes and the future of this game and what people are working on, and it excites me because if Deej walked away really pumped up about what he saw there, then I know he's thinking about, man, like the players are gonna love this, and that gets me pumped up.
No, definitely. I think when the Destiny 2 things start rolling around, we're gonna be
It's gonna be a hell of a time.
Happy Guardians.
I'm just gonna focus on the near future for now.
Right. Let's focus on Gamescom and trying to record next week's show.
Yep.
So they I actually think I skimmed over this. They now available for pre-order is the Hunter collectible figure.
Yeah.
With the icebreaker, which is cool, man.
Icebreaker.
But my buddy Dixie Flatline, he was really pumped because he thought they were setting it up to give.
Dude, people are reading
Hunter
way too into that.
To give the Hunter the a nice hand cannon of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to talk about everybody got pumped up because they the figurine had a white icebreaker, which is the year one version. They're like,
oh,
are they saying it's coming
no,
back?
not that. No.
Like,
He just wanted a little mini hand cannon.
like, guys, it's just a figurine.
It does look pretty cool though.
It does. And I have a friend that I played with a lot in year one that was a hunter, and he loved his icebreaker. And I showed it to him, and he was just like speechless.
Oh, it's funny, man. It just made me remember this. In that short clip I watched of myself playing a year and a half ago, I was using the icebreaker in Crucible, but I was
Nice.
not using it like you were using it a while back.
In other words, you were not being very effective.
No. Anyways.
Oh, man.
I wish I could afford all those figurines.
Dude,
that'd be
they're-
like
yeah.
$600-700.
I would
bucks
love
if
to
they
have
were
them,
all-
but they're what, like a couple $100 a piece?
Yeah, a piece. Can you imagine
can't
though,
drop
just
that
putting
change
those on
on
your
that.
Destiny shelf,
Oh
man?
my gosh. And what sucks though is like if I saved up and I had the money later, I'm not going to be able to purchase it. I'm going to have to buy it off somebody that's going to rip me off
For a
$500
couple hundred more at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well.
They're cool though. We can just look at the pics.
I know. Oh well. That's funny. You got your Mega Blocks recently. I ordered mine last week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you end up getting them from Toys R Us?
I did. Yeah. I have one set that's shipped, and that is the Atheon one.
Oh, nice,
And
man.
then the other one I ordered. What was the other one? The other one I ordered was on pre-order still, so it won't ship until the beginning of August.
Yeah, I haven't gotten two of the ones that I ordered. All
Okay.
I got was which is cool because I got my Titan and
Yeah.
the vehicle with that. So
Yeah, I was supposed to be on Toys R Us website looking at presents for my son for his birthday, but needless to say, I got distracted. But I
You
did
guys can
sneak
put
in
it
some of his
together.
presents in there.
Together.
Yeah,
Add it to the cart.
yeah, I added to cart. So, but I'm kind of pumped for those coming in.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to get my other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Always got to get Destiny stuff, man.
I know.
I didn't even see this, man, but we also got a companion update while I was on vacation.
Yeah, just
Is that right?
it looks like they just kind of moved around some forum stuff and
Yeah, and they made it to where you can. The thing that stood out to me is you can set your avatar as your in-game Destiny emblem.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it updates, as they say, automagically with your
That
emblem
reminds-
that's equipped.
There's a commercial that says that, I think.
Nice.
I can't remember what it is.
Automagically.
Automagically. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I don't know, though. I like my avatar on their website, so I almost did it, and I was like, nah, I like my avatar. It's a cool Titan.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it.
Do you want to talk about legacy consoles?
Yeah, man, we were chatting about this. I don't know how much we got into detail about what's happening to our Guardians with the legacy consoles here in the next couple weeks.
We've definitely brought up the fact that, legacy consoles are being phased out for future content.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got some more definitive information on the when and where.
Yeah, because they put this in the weekly update, I think,
Yeah.
2 or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to make sure you guys know what's going to happen.
Yes.
So we can run through this real quick, man. Basically, we probably said this already, but starting August 16th, 2016, legacy consoles will no longer receive major Destiny updates or content releases. On this date, the account import process will become available on PS4 and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So from that date forward, progression will no longer be shared across console generations.
Right.
So there's other very specific things they go on to say, which I don't think we mentioned.
Yeah, this is kind of new. So legacy console players will have until 2 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on August 16th, 2016 to receive their Moments of Triumph t-shirt code on their Year 2 Triumphs page on Bungie.net. So if you are on a PS3 or Xbox 360, you actually need to get your Moments of Triumphs fully completed by the 16th. After this date, they will no longer be able to access character data on Bungie.net, which includes the completion of the Year 2 Moments of Triumph's record book and t-shirt code. So not only are they phasing out the ability to progress with future content, you're not even going to be able to use Bungie.net anymore.
Right.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't say this in here, but I'm almost certain they won't have access to... Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. It is a little bit further. Really stuck out to me is activities like Iron Banner and Trials
Yeah.
aren't... well, no. It says they'll be available through August, through the end of
Through
August.
the end. So they didn't set
Yeah.
a hard date, but
Right.
I imagine that in reality, they'll probably phase that stuff out like when ROI drops.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they have some heralding events, like some, a couple weeks beforehand, if we start to see some kind of change before
Right.
ROI drops, maybe they'll discontinue it at that date.
It's just crazy to think, man, like, if you haven't gotten the current gen,
Yep.
it's like you can't even get to some of these activities. Like you said, even the website.
Yeah.
So.
But I want to bring up, for those of you on 360, if you missed it this week, they just announced the Gen 1 Xbox consoles. They just price dropped to $250. Pretty good deal
There you
there.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Xbox S, I think, is launching like the first week of August, which is right around the corner. But if you just need to upgrade, this is a great time. I mean, $250 is
Yeah.
awesome price for a box and a controller. Just the basics. I would
Get
pick
that
that up,
account
man.
imported.
Yep. And the Taken King was on sale this week for gold members. You
Yeah, it
could
was
pick
on
it up
sale.
for like $30.
I think at one point it was $20 on the PSN store too.
Yeah.
It's not any longer, but that's just crazy to see it at that price.
Yep.
For all that content.
That's a lot, man. It's great.
They did mention too, just real quick, you also won't be able to buy silver anymore August 16th, but you can still purchase items with silver you already have. So
that's true. Just no more new silver.
No more new silver for you.
No more for you.
Anyways, we just wanted to reiterate some of that stuff because I'm not sure how much we broke that down when it was in the update.
We have a responsibility to inform you.
We will see all you Guardians on the current gen consoles.
That's right.
Hopefully,
if any of you still hanging loose, I will look forward to playing with you on Xbox One.
Yes.
If you're playing on the 360, welcome you to the fam.
We had a stream this week, man.
Dude, are you ready to?
I'm ready.
Let it snow.
Let it snow. Let it snow. There was snow everywhere.
Dude, first off,
everywhere.
That snow is beautiful. It looks really good, but
it's just crazy to look at that after the patrol we ran around in so long.
I know. But let's talk about some of the deets, and then we can talk about our feelings about what we saw.
Let's do it. We're gonna talk about some of our feelings on some of these bullet points, or are we gonna?
Yeah, sure. Let's just go through them. What's the first thing that we saw?
Gallerwing.
Gallerwing. They really ran that into the ground, huh?
Dude. Okay. Do you want me to tell you what I was talking about with the Gallerwing?
Please.
Here's my thing about the Gallerwing. We saw this on Reddit a while back, like jokingly, right? It wasn't.
Yes. Well, it was a community created concept, right?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Exactly. So it was like, man, this would be kind of cool. Or can you imagine if we had this? Well, my thought was when I saw that, like, Bungie wouldn't do this. Like, it's just kind of cheesy. Like, it is. It's weird. Here's my thing. Like, I want this thing. And it's cool. But it's just weird to me because, like you said, they really just drove it in. And the trailer was cool, man. But it's like, it seems like they're really trying to sell, like, a Gallerwing. You know, like, it's neat. Give me stuff. I'm not going to complain. But it just seemed like kind of cheesy. Didn't it?
I think it's pure fan service.
Right.
100%. I think that's the intention of why they did it. Mm-hmm. I think they sold it the way that they did because they acknowledge that there's going to be people that can see the tongue-in-cheek and love it. Right. I think maybe just the delivery was a little too heavy, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm not here to say I can do anybody's job better than they.
Like, I just kind of, and I don't mean to say cheesy might be a little harsh. It just, I guess maybe it was from my angle of it when I saw the Reddit post. I was like, that's cool, but I don't see Bungie doing that. So to me, it was kind of like, I want like a cool new Sparrow, give me like a jet black with a couple different layers of neon glow. You know what I mean? Like almost like but okay.
I do like that they at least gave it a new frame because I'm getting tired of the SRL frame Sparrows.
Right.
They keep doing those. I kind of miss the old frames at this point. I've been wanting some new ones, so I do like that they made a new frame for it. It looks really pretty.
It is, yeah. They did. It was cool to see on the stream them breaking down the concept art, like from where it started.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like
ended
that.
Up, and it, we're all collectors here. Like, I want it. Don't get me wrong. But here's my thing. I still, just for a short period of time, I used my SRL Sparrow, and I may still have one on my Xbox character, but I still used a Timebreaker, man. Like, can we get some more Sparrows with that boost that the Timebreaker Atheon loot gave us?
I'm hoping we'll get one from the raid this time around.
I hope so, man, because it's really kind of an ugly Sparrow, but I love that R2 boost.
Yep.
I've got it timed,
Superman.
Man. Like, yeah.
Well, we're going to be spending a lot more time in our Sparrows with the new patrol.
Yeah, especially me now, man. I tweeted out this week that I remapped my touchpad finally for my Elite controller. So I can get out my Ghost on PlayStation.
That's great. That's great. So that was the first thing we saw out of the gate. So it took them a little while to get into the actual Cosmodrome that we were talking about. But first thing, launching into one of the starting zones inside the wall was just unrecognizable. Like it took me a couple minutes for me to even like put together where they were.
Right.
Because it looked so different. But it was really cool, really pretty looking. I loved the ambiance of the snow falling down while you're running through. It actually kind of impaired your visibility a little bit, it seems.
Right. I've always liked snowy worlds in games.
Yeah,
even
me
in
too.
Mario, my favorite was always the snow worlds.
Yeah.
The ice worlds.
It's really cool. Dude, ice worlds in Mario are like, oh, so hard. The slipperiness.
Yep.
man.
Mario 64 though, man, it was so cool to jump from high and get stuck in the snow. That's some old school days there.
There you go. Yeah, Mario 64, man. But we got to see, which I didn't anticipate, but we got to see some of the new enemies in play.
Splicers.
Splicer drags, splicer
Everything's
shanks.
a splicer.
Yeah, all those splicers. They look pretty cool. It was tough to get a good up close look at them, and I think that was kind of on purpose, right? But we did see throughout the stream some of the unique abilities that we're going to see. One in particular that was interesting is they kept killing drags, and then this floaty orange orb would be chasing you, kind of similar to the Hive Shriekers. Is that what they're called? The big floaty orbs thing that when you kill them, they have the purple orbs that come after you. It was like one of those, and it kept coming after them when they would die. I thought that was an interesting ability there.
I always wonder if they're going to do some of the same or some random
some
new
of the same coding,
slightly annoying thing.
Yeah, definitely slightly annoying. Had some difficulty there.
And we saw the enemies too were popping up as level 42.
Right.
So
what does the level? It's so much more confusing than it used to be. What level numbers mean? Because
right, I know, especially with the light level the way it is now.
Yeah, everything's so based on light level. What does your level even mean anymore? It's hard for me to understand. They really haven't made it very clear what level is for.
No, that's a good point, man, because like they're 42, we're 40, but they really should be like 350 light. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that would give us an example of like the difficulty level.
The only thing I can make sense of is it impacts what your HP is, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Because it used to be everything was just level. You know, your armor was tied to your level. There was no light. Remember that? I had to think about that the other day. It used to be that there was no such thing as light level. It was just what your level was, 29, 30, right?
Your level was it that all at the very beginning? Because at some point there, because I saw it in my old video, once again, I was 32 light.
Oh, well, you know what? It was like what your light added up to make your level.
Right.
So yeah, to be more precise.
Light from the gear, yeah.
Your combined light points added up to make you a certain level. Put it that way. But it was not an independent functional stat that affected anything.
Right.
What your level of equipped gear was what your level is. Now they're independent of each other.
I think these are things we might see fine-tuned even a bit more in Destiny 2.
That would be helpful.
Yeah. I did also, I know this has been said before, but am I right with this? Did they say, so what we saw, the divide here that we've seen so much up to this point, what we saw on the stream is going to be a different instance that we load into?
Yes.
Is that right? And
So
then the other divide will still be there.
The original Cosmodrome Patrol will still exist.
Mhm.
And I think when you load in the Plaguelands Patrol, certain areas of the Cosmodrome will be included in that. And I think one thing that some people have been confused about, but they have been clear on, is not every zone of the Cosmodrome is going to be included.
Okay.
As far as I know. So it's not the entire Cosmodrome is now covered in snow, and each different zone is completely changed. They have not outright said that.
It just continues to make me, I mean, I wonder like how big Rise of Iron is really going to feel when we get our hands on it.
They've
It was
got
cool.
whole new zones in Patrol and Plaguelands.
Right.
I just really can't wait to get into there, man.
Mhm. Finally, like a new area,
Just
new patrol.
Brand new areas. Because
It was cool to see that fallen walker destroyed, though. I know everybody was talking about that. Yeah.
that was great. That son of a gun is finally
Toast.
dead.
Toast.
And when they were there was actually a new public event happening. It was a Warsat that was going on that dropped like right behind it.
Yep.
So that was going down.
And they veered off another direction.
They did. They went towards the Rocky Yards, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that looked different as well. I really enjoyed all the different touches to all the different just various places throughout the environment where you can see like there was a battle or there was they're cutting chopping stuff
so cool,
up,
man.
like they
Like
chopped the end of the tank barrel off.
The lasered looking slice of the environment.
And then
certain parts of it.
didn't expect that they had like some SIVA growth like coming out of the ground. These weird looking red tendril cable things was really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, it was neat to see. I mean, it seemed like so strategic the way they were going through that, man. Like just the little bits they were showing us. And then they showed us an area right that had an elite or an ultra in it.
Yeah.
They kind of teased a bit that almost seemed like a bit of an accident because they kind of like, it could have been on purpose, but they're like, no, we're not going to go in there.
I really think it was on purpose that they were trying to kind of tease, because they were like, oh no, we're not supposed to go in there, but they lingered for a little bit.
And they looked, then they went back and looked a second time.
And then they were like, oh, it's rumbling, we need to go. Like, what? what does that mean?
Yeah.
But we got to see a captain with a void shield. Never seen that before.
Yep.
Right? And he was called what? Splicer Reaver Captain?
Yeah, something of that nature.
Yeah, and had different
Everything's
effects.
a splicer.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what we should say. The environment had been spliced.
There you go. Spliced environments.
The portions of the environment just chopped off.
And one interesting conversation I liked when they were in the Divide and they were talking about SIVA in general. One thing I found interesting was that they brought up how SIVA as a whole is controlled by some intelligence. And I think the obvious guess at that would be a war mind. But then it got me thinking about how, from what we know so far, the Iron Lords fought to contain SIVA, and I think sacrificed some of themselves to do so. But also there was a history of the Iron Lords fighting each other. And it makes me wonder if we might see an Iron Lord that it could be involved or behind some of this.
I know they really
some
teased
point.
that I forget his name now. Like he was definitely teasing some. He's like, I won't say too much, and I'm like, dude, you're saying too much. You're almost saying too much.
You are saying a lot there. I don't know. I'm just taking a stab. I guess we'll certainly find out more down the line. I really, really hope that the lore that we get from this is as in depth as what we got from the Books of Sorrow, because the amount of lore that we got from the Taken King was just leaps and bounds above some of the stuff we've got in the past. But, like with, not the Dark Below, but the next
House
expansion, House of Wolves. Like, we got a whole compendium on the different wars that happened in the Reef and all that stuff. I hope we get something really similar with the Lords of Iron and Siva and all that stuff too,
Definitely want to get some of that lore in the game. You mentioned the Taken King too, man. Like, looking back at the Taken King, like, I don't know if that, we all said we did, but that expansion was the real deal.
Like,
that was
diggity, bro.
Great expansion. Wow.
I still think about how much fun I had exploring that expansion for the first even month of just continuously seeing new stuff, new mysteries, be exposed, the exotics that would pop up.
In the way they revamped, the quests and all that came with it in that update, it was
so
just
much
spot
to
on.
do, and it was so fun, man. And I really believe and am trusting that they have taken what they learned from that and are implementing some of the same concepts and ideas. They did say that we're definitely getting more cutscenes with this.
Yep.
Which I'm looking forward to. That was a great part of that expansion.
That's the thing too, is we have to be careful with this expansion because it's already obviously smaller than the Taken King. But there's going to be a lot here. But the thing is they've done so much this year with what, the update they dropped along with the Taken King and then what they did with the April update, that those are quality of life things. Of course, we'll probably get some of that in some sort of patch with the Rise of Iron, but I really feel like a lot of this stuff that we have in the game right now that we love so much and how rewarding it is, that's they can tweak that a bit, and refine it a little bit, but we've gotten that and it's great. We're not going to continue to get, really, that's fine tuning the game, right? When we get more years into this game, it's going to be fine tuned, so it's just going to be flat out about the content we get, right?
Hopefully so, yeah.
There's always things to update and change, but that update we got with the Taken King that came along with the DLC was wow. They revamped the interface, the quests. So anyways,
I don't look to see something in that vein of changing
that's where we have to
the fundamentals of how we play. I just want content. Just give me the content. Give me new stuff to play.
The cutscenes go right along with it. They seem to have learned, like you said, and they're giving us more story, more cutscenes.
And enjoy my favorite part is just playing through a story in this game because it's so interesting.
Yep.
Learning.
We have to mention too, of course, that Deej brought up his menu, and this is, of course, a dev environment, as he always tells us. But our character level was still 40, but the light said 355. Was that what it said? I think it said 355. I put it wrong in our notes here, but I'm pretty sure it did. It said 355.
Dude, it must be higher than that.
You would think. Let me just double check Reddit real quick.
Well, overall, while you're doing that,
it's 355. Yeah,
355.
Yep. Yeah, so that was my thought too. Your initial thought right there was my thought. Whoa, just 355?
Yeah.
That's not. I guess that's the equivalent of the substantial that they gave us this last time.
Yeah, right? It's 5 points higher, but we're 335 now.
But it's a dev environment, man. So
I'm not even. Some people are throwing out 400, with 420 being the raid cap. I don't know. We'll see. I just hope it's significant in nature.
Right.
50 or more points higher is what I'm looking for, and the whole reason is because I want enough room to progress. Over time, I don't want to be 20 points away from the cap. That's. It's the curve is so steep when you get to the top of that light level, it matters less and less as you get to the cap. I don't want to be within a substantial degree of my, highest power within a week of the game,
Well, and I just said that to you before the show. I'm forever 334 right now because I need a ghost and a artifact. And
but it doesn't make any difference.
Right. Yeah, right.
There's literally
exactly.
no difference.
I'm happy, though, because I finally can be one light level number under the max by playing mostly PvP.
I know,
so I'm
great.
thrilled to be 334.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah. So what did you think overall about the stream? What were your takeaways after watching that?
Well, I didn't get to watch it live. I missed you guys on the live stream. So I watched the archived later that night or the next day. And the thing is like we knew we were getting the Cosmodrome Winter Tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should have already told ourselves we weren't going to see a lot of new stuff. I still at the end of it was like, that really kind of was. It wasn't boring is too harsh. It was cool. It was new stuff. It wasn't boring.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like their normal stream. But then I thought about it more, and I'm like, we really should have already told ourselves that we weren't going to see a lot of new stuff. We were just going to kind of be teased in here and there and see a different looking environment that we've seen before. But a lot of people, I listened to some podcasts this week, and they're saying, I like that. I don't want to see, usually they drop bombs on us and this and that. Well, my thing is we're going to get a Plague Land stream, I would think, right? You'd think so. Well, that's the thing. If I feel like in the way that they've done things in the past, we would, and then they'll drop the bombs on us. But at the same time,
so
like you
now.
said, will they? Because, it's a whole new area.
I mean, we've already had 2 streams well before the expansion. Mm-hmm. That's never been that way. They've always done like 3 streams, like not long before the content releases.
Right.
Giving us a substantial amount of information about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Showing us things that we can do, showing us new weapon types. And I
guess partly for me, the last stream we got, I didn't really look at as part of that was like a hold us over stream. Mm-hmm. And I didn't look at it as part of like the boom, boom, boom. Here's your 3 streams 3 weeks before. But really, like listening to you talk about it, maybe it was, right? And maybe we're going to get this Crucible stream, but that's a long time before. That's a month.
What a lot of people are suggesting is that we're seeing a change in the way that they present this information. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's definitely some positives to this. Number one, a lot of people feel like they would get more enjoyment out of the content if they didn't see so much beforehand. Mm-hmm. So like, I was listening to Planet Destiny content, and they were talking about, the Taken King, and they saw so much before it dropped. We got to see about swords and new content and just all the things that changed, and it would have been a lot of fun to just discover it, the same way that we do with the raid. And I'm hoping we don't get a Plague Land stream. I want to have the mystery and the satisfaction of dropping into that through the natural course of the game and seeing it for the first time in the game.
Right.
With my friends,
it's the classic,
discovering it.
It's the balance that they have to make of hype to sell it, get new players in, versus showing current players too much.
Right.
And does it become ultimately our choice if we want to watch it or not?
Yeah, I think for a lot of people it does, but for people like me and you, we don't have a choice.
Right.
We have to watch and talk about it for those that did watch it, which is going to be a substantial amount of people. Mm-hmm. We don't get a choice, but a lot of people do. And I would encourage you that if you do have a choice in the matter, if you can somehow get away from the talk, don't watch it.
See, I'm like that with like plots of games and or movies, of course.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert type things.
I like to see it for myself and enjoy it.
When it comes to like features, Crucible features, interface changes. I want to see that. But I agree with you. Like
that.
Plague Lands, like it would be really cool the day we download that and we
see it for the first time there.
Go there and just go in for the first time.
Yeah,
it would be cool.
So I'm hoping that's what we get.
What do you think overall, though?
Overall, I mean, it was a little slow, but they gave us exactly what they said they were going to give us, and then a little more. Mm-hmm. It was really cool to see that environment and see the snow effects and see what they can do without a hindrance of last gen, to be able to push the game a little farther. You know, a lot of people are wondering, well, is the snow effect going to be constant? Is it going to turn on and off? You know?
Yeah.
The first thing I thought about was, man, how cool is it going to be to have a PvP snow map?
Oh yeah,
I want
true.
that.
I didn't
so
even think
bad.
about that.
I want a Crucible map with snow effects going on, dude. That would be so epic.
Yeah, I did not even think about that.
You know, just the fog of the visibility. You know, like think about like looking through your sniper scope and seeing just snow pouring down. You're trying to find the enemy's head, man. You know, there's this fog and it's tough to see, and you get the headshot. It's just gonna feel like so cinematic and epic. You know,
the next thing we're gonna see is Gears of War or Battlefield.
Yes,
in
levels,
Battlefield
right?
they were called Levolutions in Battlefield or something, where the world like shifts 3 minutes into the match. I never could decide if I liked that. I don't know if Destiny will ever do that, but no, I agree, man. Like the thick snow, and you're like,
I think what
maybe
makes
on certain
me
sight lines that would be cool.
I think what makes me so excited about it is hearkening back to Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, there you go.
Where when you're in exterior levels, there's a blizzard going on. I don't know. There's something just calling back.
I'm trying to think of something they could do on a snowy map equivalent to the birds, like on Widow's Court and stuff.
Well, there's going to be footprints.
Yeah,
you leave
that's
footprints. True. We saw that in the stream.
That's cool.
Track people.
Hopefully the
think about
Inferno.
Inferno.
A little different.
Inferno, but you get to see footprints and just like stalking
everywhere.
Somebody, right?
Oh man, that's gonna be fun. Like I said, I did not even think about a PvP map.
So anyway, what were your thoughts overall about what we saw there?
Well, man, it's like I said, it's what we should have expected. So I'm just pumped to be getting a stream. You know, it's cool that they have a studio set up now. They can just throw a stream on the schedule and give us stuff like this. So we can't complain too much. The alternative is we don't get a stream at all.
Right.
So
we don't get anything, and we just gotta wait.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the presentation this time was improved because they gave Deej a clicker.
Oh, right.
And when he wanted to call something up or change it, he just was like, click.
Mm-hmm. He's getting really good. I mean, he's already a wordsmith.
He's such a great presenter, man.
Great at the stream.
He keeps it moving.
Mm-hmm.
He
even had these guys like chuckling. Like you even get a sense of like some inside jokes.
Oh yeah,
you know, while you're watching it, and it's like, what? I want to know some of this information.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Good
well,
stuff.
Really looking forward to Gamescom, man. I cannot wait to see what they have to show off.
It's gonna be exciting. I know what our main topic will be that week.
They even mention after they do the stream that whatever it is that they're showing off, they're gonna have a couple days of people doing coverage on it. Mm-hmm. So that'll be fun. Just they're gonna show something off. They're gonna have something. It seems to be that's gonna be playable, and then we'll get to see other people covering that too and more in depth. So that'll be pretty fun.
They have so many traveling. They just imagine working there would be fun, man. But sometimes at a certain point, I'd be like, I just want to stay in my office.
Oh man,
for like a good period of time.
If you're on that side of the team, of the PR team, I mean, you're traveling multiple times a year, even out of the country. I mean, you're going to Gamescom, you're going to Germany. once a year. I mean, you got E3. They have what's some of the other ones that, PAX.
Well, think about
all the different PAX stuff they can go to. I mean, geez.
Coordinating all that, and then also with a development, I don't know, iteration of a game that's not even released yet, hoping that it works.
That's crazy, man.
I don't know.
It's got to be crazy to be in that industry. Well, good talk.
Exciting times.
Exciting times, guys. Let us know what you thought of the stream this week. What you thought of the snowy Cosmodrome and the Galar Wing. And send us a tweet. Tell us what you thought.
The Galar Wing.
The Galar Wing.
Cyborg Sasquatch.
Aeronite.
Can you handle some Dirt Fan feels this week?
I don't know, man. But I better be ready.
Ever since that 1 year anniversary, I think I said this already, but they prompt the tears a little easier these days.
My heart just can't handle the feels. All right, we've got a speak pipe from our buddy, Deadly Teddy. He's so deadly, but
you said it right.
He's fuzzy and huggable too. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, this is Deadly Teddy here. I respond to anything. Deadly, Teddy, Teddy, Deadly, whatever you want to call me, that works. Thanks, Exodus, for the shout out and the challenge last week. Thank you to Arrow and Cyborg for the podcast and the community that you've created. I know everybody says that every week, but I've made so many awesome friends in real life, and I know everybody else has too. It wouldn't be possible without you guys starting the show, so thank you very much. I want to shout out all my BODs, Flavor, Exodus, Roving Warbeast, RH Larson, Fugly. Oh, hey, Fugly's right here next to me. Say hi, Fugs.
Oh, what up, Fuggle Hug?
Hey, Fugly Hug. Milks, Danny the Kirk, Mike M22, Matu, Chronic, Big Red, everybody I play with all the time. Y'all are the best. I love you guys. And my challenge for next week is Jay Frenzy Skates.
Nice.
He and I met a couple months ago. I helped him do the Black Spindle mission along with Danny the Kirk. And Jake and I got to talking, and we found out that we went to the same tiny Christian college up here in Minneapolis, and we've had a ton in common ever since. He's a great guy, and I'm glad to have him as my friend. So it's your turn, buddy. Challenge to everybody in the Derp fam, go help somebody do a mission or something. You might end up with an awesome friend out of it.
There you go.
Take it easy, Guardians.
Well, we got a surprise guest there.
Fuggles.
Fuggle
Hugs.
Inside of Deadly Teddy's.
I love the ambiance of that one. They were like, you could tell they're in a restaurant or a bar.
Right? Listen in a speak pipe real quick.
But it sounded like so exactly what you sound a restaurant or bar to talk about. Like there's like clinking silverware, people just kind of talking, but it wasn't too loud. I don't know. It just had such great ambiance.
It did. And it was just a natural speak pipe. It was
Absolutely. Nice. But I love his challenge where he says, go out and help someone this week. And that's a great mantra to live by. Go out and help somebody.
Maybe we should spin that into some sort of Dirt fam. I mean, that goes right along with us, man.
That's what he's saying. Go out there, fam. Help somebody do a mission or something.
Deadly Teddy's spot on with something.
Deadly Teddy's challenge. Aid a guardian in need.
Right now.
Right now.
Stop what you're doing. Exit
Pull
your
over the car.
Match.
Load up your Xbox.
Don't leave your Crucible match. Help your team out before you leave. Who's he call out, man?
Jay Franzi.
Yes, and he said they went to the same school, I believe. They figured out.
I think so. That's pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Teddy and Fugly knew each other in real life at this point.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
It's such a small world.
It is.
A lot of these guys like live close to each other or have a history or friends in real life now. It's I really enjoy seeing that happen.
Getting their buddies in the fam.
I know.
The random meetups.
Mm-hmm.
We got another speak pipe, which we didn't have last week.
Yep,
but as we said, it's continued. No big deal. We said this last week. If you don't make it, it's not much time. We always say it's like 4 or 5 days, but it's really not even that.
Right.
By the time we record sometimes. So don't stress, Dirt fam, if you don't get it in by the next episode. Mm-hmm. But the Berg sends in his speak pipe this week. Let's take a listen.
Hey everyone, this is the Berg012 accepting the challenge for Strategy Guide. I would like to start by thanking Arrow and Cyborg for creating this great community. I started playing Destiny just before the release of The Dark Below and will constantly struggle to find a fire team. I have been listening to your podcast for a while and in December decided to join, a decision I will never regret. I wish I could mention everyone in the fam I played with, but the list would be too long. I would, however, like to give a special shout out to Hordencourt, who helped shepherd me through my first King's Fall hard mode. He is always willing to help and never seems to get frustrated about it. This fam has helped me through a lot of tough times in the game and in my personal life. For that, I will always be grateful. After I finally convinced my wife to play Destiny with me, she hasn't put the controller down. She joined the Derp fam in January and loves it. So on that note, I would like to call out my wife, Forrest and Stone, for the next SpeakPipe challenge. Hashtag Hunter Masterclass.
Well, the Berg, I'm really happy to hear that you found the Derp fam and you no longer have to struggle to find that fire team to play with. I am going to need to come and talk to you and compare notes about how you got your wife to play this game. Because I've been unsuccessful. But yeah, man, that's pretty cool. And he actually calls her out, Force and Stone, to do a SpeakPipe, so we get to hear his wife show up for that this week, or next week,
That
rather.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Great SpeakPipe.
Well, that's some good feels, man.
Yes, sir.
We've got some emails. We're going to hold them for next week. And
We
we'll,
always have an email or two on the back burner from you guys.
Yeah. We'll save some
Keep
good
sending
ones
them in.
up for you guys next week.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting them. Don't worry. We're getting your emails. I'll make sure
We
we
do
get
like
some replies.
Yeah, usually we reply after we feature it on the show, so please don't think we didn't get it or we're just not gonna respond.
Right.
So we do really try to respond to all of you family members out there.
Absolutely. Well, fun show this week, man.
A lot of fun. It is always a good time to have an episode after some new content
No doubt.
is shown to us.
Yep. Just good to kick it back with my buddy Aaron Knight and talk shop.
Oh man, that's sweet.
I know. I always have fun. But we've got some good guests coming up over the next couple months that you guys,
Yes.
I promise, are going to enjoy. So get ready.
August is looking pretty exciting for the Destiny Reset.
No doubt.
podcast.
And we've got some great news coming from friends of ours. And man, y'all are just going to have some fun times on Destiny Reset. I'm telling you. It's going to be awesome.
Sell it.
I'm selling it, bro, because I'm excited.
Really, the fam sells itself, but for some reason, all of these Guardians are still listening to you and I. So I don't know what that's about.
Somehow, some way, we're pulling this off week after week. Well, where can people find you, Aaron Knight, if they want to talk or watch or interact with you?
You can find me on Twitter at the Arrow Knights and YouTube and Twitch. It's just Arrow Knights. Just Arrow Knight with a 0.
That's right.
I try to stream at least on Fridays if I can, unless
Yeah.
I'm on vacation, which apparently is twice a month.
Yeah. You're pretty
What about you,
regular,
dude?
though. You're more reliable than I am with the streaming. I've been
It's
kind of
trials.
lazy with it the past week or two, but I'll be back up on the Twitch.
But it's always a good time when you stream, though, man.
Yeah. You too.
You're banning people left and right. No, I'm just kidding.
I
He doesn't do
do
that.
have a heavy ban hammer.
He only silenced me the first time I was in his chat.
I know. I had to wield the power. You can find me at Cyborg Sasquatch on Twitter. You can also find me at twitch.tv/Cyborg Sasquatch as well. You cannot find me on PlayStation with that handle because somebody already has it, which I found out this week and I'm very excited.
I had to search after we were talking, and I'm like, no way, somebody has it. And there was 2 of them. And it
Yeah, I don't
looked
even
like
know how that works.
I don't know how that worked either. They weren't any different, and one already had 6 next to their little avatar. So they've had your gamer tag for a while on
No.
PlayStation, man.
So we decided my PlayStation gamer tag in the future will be kind of interesting. I'm not
We
going to
got
tell
creative.
because somebody will go steal that too.
I had to apologize to the fam in general because I was spamming them with PlayStation screenshots of variations of your name.
That's okay.
We were going
They
back and
forgive
forth.
you. But anyways, back to what we were discussing here. You can always find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter. Okay. You can also find us on the World Wide Web at www.destinyresetpodcast.com. Do you want to join the Derp Fam? Air Knight, do you want to join the Derp Fam?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you how. I want you to go to www.destinyresetpodcast.com, okay?
Okay.
I want you to find the Bungie logo.
Boom. I see it.
Click it.
Okay.
Where does it take you?
It takes me to the main Destiny Reset group /clan/family page, I believe.
The fam page.
Yes.
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to find a button, and that button is going to allow you to join the group.
You can interact.
That's right. Now, here's the deal. You don't have to set us as your clan if you're already part of a set clan or someone you're committed to. That's cool. If you want to be part of the Derp Fam in general, just come join that group. Once you do, you will get access to our Discord and to our forums and all the benefits that come with being part of the Derp Fam. So for many people that ask, they want to get into our Discord, go join the Bungie.net group first and then go to the forum. Once you're on the forum, the very first post that you're going to see is instructions for how to join the Discord. So there you go.
It is.
That's how you join, guys.
If Bungie's website happens to be down, I guess just forget all of this for now.
You're SOL. No, if that happened, you can just message
just
or
tweet
email
us.
us or tweet us or something.
We'll give you the link.
Yeah, we'll hook you up. So, there are your instructions, gentlemen. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to join the Derp Fam. This message will self-destruct. 3, 2, 1. Boom!
You're getting really good at this, creative.
I got to keep it fresh.
It's exciting. We don't have any new iTunes reviews this week. That is completely fine because we appreciate the 60 of them we have on the U.S. store and all the other ones we have from all of you fabulous Derp Fam Guardians in other countries. So thank you for that.
But
we'll
hey,
take
if
this
you
time
want to
thank
leave
you
an
all.
iTunes review for us, we will gladly accept it.
We will.
Absolutely.
And you could possibly bring in some more family members just by leaving that review.
That's true.
They could do that.
Mm-hmm. Which is always
all right,
great
dude.
for everyone.
This outro, everybody's probably paused or stopped at this point. And if you haven't, we hope it's been creative enough to keep you listening.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're holding out for Cyborg's impression at the end here.
What should I do this week? That's what I always sit down and think about.
First thing you do every Monday.
Every Monday I'm thinking, what?
That's why you don't
pretend to
block
be this week.
Put any meetings in. You got to think of your
Yeah, I spent
impression.
at least 3 hours practicing in the mirror. My Shax and Cryptarch impressions, you know.
That's what I did with my geography lesson impression.
I hope you didn't spend that much time with that.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, here we go.
All right. It was a great show, guys.
Until next week, have fun playing Destiny and take care, Guardians. Does he have one?
Insert impression here.
Sounded like the postmaster.